5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
And good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk to Deb Sanchez about Saginaw Promise. I think she's going to have a Promise Scholar with her this morning, too. And at 11 o'clock, MBS International Airport, the subject of our thoughts with its manager, James Canders. That will happen this morning at 11. For this first hour, though, here on WSGW, it will be open phones, whatever you'd like to talk about, 989-752-6111. If you're watching on the stream, I'll put that number up on the screen for you this morning, and we'd love to chat with you. Again, it's 989-752-6111. That will put you in touch with us. Lots to chat about, a lot going on, it seems. Every time we turn around, it's something else. We want to congratulate Ford Motor Company for making the right decision and keeping AM radio in their cars. Yay! It's weird lately. Government wants to ban gas stoves and what have you. And here's something else. This is a lighter note, but it's baseball. Have you noticed the absence of no-hitters in baseball? Well, the pitch clock and batter clock, they say, has come into play. It's a rarity. No games, no hitters are rarities, but they do happen. And for a time, they were coming quite often. But baseball's rule changes, which have, of course, stimulated offense, not defense, the pitch clock, the ban on defensive shifts, a few less inches from home to first, have had an effect. More hits per game, they say. Hits are up 2% from last year, 2.5% from 2021, and runs scored up 7%. So that alone has accounted for the fact that there have been, so far, no hitters. None of them. So I guess the question is that good for baseball or not? I can remember when they juiced the balls to increase home runs, and it's kind of a rebellion against that. Is all this offense good for the game? Now, I will say one thing. The games are shorter, no doubt. Half hour on average. And you don't see as much fall-de-raw. The batters don't step out and adjust their gloves and pat their fannies and do all that good stuff. They've got to be in the box in 8 seconds, and the pitcher's got to pitch within a certain time period, depending on the situation. And it has made the game faster to watch. And I wasn't sure I was going to like it. But I find myself, and I'm a baseball fan. I like baseball. I find myself listening and watching more because of the faster pace. And so I guess I think it's been good for the game. I'm not sure I agree with the no shift policy. I'm not a big shift fan to start with, but I do think it's a managerial tool. And I think to take the tools out of the hands of the managers kind of changes the game a little bit in a way that I'm not sure I like. Now, I have noticed managers have figured out how to shift without violating the rules. They'll take the third baseman, put him where the shortstop is. They'll put the shortstop just to the side of second base, but on their side of the field, on the left field side. And so they move them around, but they stay within the confines of the rule, if you will. All in all, though, there has been more offense, but mostly it has sped the game up. And from that standpoint, I'm not as objectionable to it as I thought I would be at the beginning of the season. I really didn't think I liked any of it at the beginning of the season. But it's been better. So I'll give them that. But the fact that there are no hitters is kind of interesting. They've taken away one of the really neat points of the game. It was always fun to watch a no-hitter and nail biter into the ninth. Will somebody get a hit at the end of the game to spoil it? You know, kind of thought that was an interesting part of the game. So I'm sorry to see that go. However, if somebody does get a no-hitter, it will be that much bigger feather in their cap because it is more difficult to get now. So the first one that comes up with a no-hitter is going to be lauded in this new age of baseball rules. Then it'll be interesting to see what happened. But I am liking it more. And I'm liking the Tigers more this year, too, even though they're still under 500, but they're getting close to 500. I think they'll hit 500 here before long. It's a better team, a much better bullpen. The bullpen is amazing. The bullpen has done them well. And Riley Green, Torkelson doing what we expected them to do for the most part. We got to get Tarek Skubal back. He's been throwing bullpen sessions down in Toledo. All in all, I think so far, pretty good year for baseball. So that's just me, you know. Others who are traditionalists, I've heard them say they don't like the changes. They don't like the way it's going. But it's been almost 2 years since the then Yankee Corey Kluber took 101 pitches to no-hit the Texas Rangers. And that was the second no-hitter in as many days and the seventh one that season. A couple of more would follow. That was it. So, I don't know. It's, I guess it's you give a little here, you take a little there. One of those things. Not everybody wins. And with the defensive shifts gone, that really favors the hitters. So time will tell how this is going to be handled in the long run. But if you're a baseball fan, how do you feel about it? Is it good or bad? 989-752-6111. That or whatever else you want to chat about, of course, you can give us a call and we'd be happy to talk to you this morning.
When I grow up, I want to be a race car driver.
My mom says I could be an astronaut.
Someday, I'm going to be turned into sugar and made into the world's stickiest, sweetest lollipop ever.
Probosol fungicide from BASF helps every sugar beet live up to its fullest potential. Advanced disease control means you get enhanced Cercospora leaf spot protection and more recoverable sucrose. Help your sugar beets achieve their dreams and maximize your yield potential with Probosol fungicide. Always read and follow label directions.
Jesse Kelly here. I'm not a financial expert, but I do look for solid investment opportunities for investment growth and protection against loss. I do know that putting all your eggs in one basket is not a good financial plan. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver with Oxford Gold is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Or you can buy precious metals and keep them in your safe. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Attention business owners. Stop throwing your hard-earned money away on rent. Imagine owning your own building and saving thousands every year. Sound impossible? Not if you use General Steel. General Steel can help you save thousands by owning your own custom-designed building. Just call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to see how much money you can save with General Steel. Our buildings come with a 50-year warranty, and thousands of companies, from Fortune 500 corporations to startups, have trusted the General with their building needs.
If you need to expand or start a new business, you really need General Steel.
I'm very impressed with General Steel. Everyone's been extremely helpful. I'd recommend General Steel to anyone looking to build a steel building.
Stop wasting money on rent. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to find out about all our popular quick construction kits, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building. Just call 888-747-8335 now. That's 888-74-STEEL.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Kohl's shares are up 12%. Kohl's managed to make a profit in its recent quarter. The company's been clearing out inventory. Though sales were weaker than a year earlier, Kohl's is holding up better than expected. Wall Street was expecting Kohl's to lose money. Kohl's is also standing by its forecast for the year. Home builder Toll Brothers also had an upbeat quarter. The company says home buying picked up in recent months. Toll Brothers is raising expectations for how many homes it will hand over to an owner this year. The company says homeowners have been reluctant to sell and give up low-interest mortgages, which has created demand for new homes. We'll get a better idea today what the Federal Reserve policymakers were considering at the meeting earlier this month. Minutes from that meeting are released today. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Millions are making the switch to Newsmax. After Tucker Carlson's firing, the Eric Bolling Show went up over 200% in the ratings. Tonight, watch Newsmax's powerful lineup of Greta Van Susteren, Rob Schmidt, Eric Bolling, and Chris Platt. At 8 p.m. Eastern, Eric Bolling reveals the big fight between DeSantis and Trump. Newsmax is now America's fastest-growing cable news channel. Download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone. Start watching anytime. Make the switch today to Newsmax.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The WSGW Morning Team.
Here is the WSGW online poll for you about the cash or the card you use. The number of Americans using cash to complete transactions continues to wane. More and more businesses, entertainment venues, sporting arenas, cashless. People are finding cards more convenient. In a lot of cases, even getting some rewards. Recent surveys, though, show an unexpected increase in the use of cash, especially related to Generation Z, the adults in the 18 to 26 range. Gen Zers say that cash is forcing them to be more thoughtful about spending. It's a great budgeting tool, especially if you tend to overspend when swiping your card. The WSGW poll question for you: do you use cash or card for transactions? You can answer, I use cash more than a card, I use card more than a cash, or I use them about the same. Your responses at WSGW.com, scrolling down the homepage and finding the poll box and voting that way.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, open hour, and we're going to go to our phones. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. Art, I still think 3 balls and 3 strikes is better than the speed-up clock because these pitchers will throw more strikes and stop wasting pitches to get the batter to swing at bad ones. So that's my opinion on that.
So you want to take away a ball?
Yes, sir.
Huh, interesting.
Yes, sir.
I never heard of it that way. That's interesting.
Yeah. The reason why I called is finally somebody in Lansing heard you hollering and screaming, moaning and groaning about this common sense party you've been talking about for the last couple of years. And these liberal Republican rhinos have decided to form this common sense party, but they have the same views on abortion and gay marriage as these liberal Democrats. So, in my opinion, all they're trying to do is divide, conquer, and split up the Republican vote so these liberal Democrats can get in. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think the moderate liberal Democrats are in the same boat the moderate conservative Republicans are.
Well, I don't know. When I look at the people that are in this common sense party, historically in the past, they've been voting kind of on the liberal side, even though they were Republicans. So I don't know. That's my opinion. I think that's the direction they're going to go.
Well,
they're
I
certainly
think
not
the very fact that
far-right
they're
conservative.
No, they're probably not, and neither are the centrist liberals. So it's not surprising that occasionally they would vote to the Democrat side, and that occasionally the moderate Democrats would vote to the Republican side. I mean, isn't that what the unattached do, so to speak? The undeclared, the moderates, the middle America, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Well, I
not
think
a surprise.
I think these common sense Republicans are going to be fiscally conservative, but they're going to be socially liberal.
Could be.
That's my opinion.
Could be, and there could be some reverse, because I know Democrats that are just the opposite. I know Democrats that are socially conservative and fiscally liberal. That's true.
You
That's what
got
brings
that.
it to the middle. I mean, there are a number of them around here I can name, but I won't. But there are those around here that everybody knows, and that's the way they are.
Right.
So it's nothing.
You got some on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
all right.
Okay.
Good enough, Paul.
All
Thanks.
right. Later.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Don in Saginaw. Don, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How you doing?
Doing well, sir.
Now, on this baseball stuff, it's about time they start making baseball a little bit faster, and take away these base hits that were base hits, which is good.
Whoa. What are we taking? Wait. Which base hits are we taking away?
Well, when they have the shift on, the guy definitely has a base hit, but the way they shifted, he got robbed of a base hit.
Yeah, so they put base hits back in again without the shift.
Well, yeah, but they also, these batters would take all day in the batter's box.
Yeah,
whatever.
They've reduced all of that. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. But the thing I called about was the Peterbilt Petes winning the Ontario League. Unbelievable. I mean, they just steamrolled everybody. I don't know. They beat Ottawa. They went right down the line. Sarnia just killed the Spirit. They had the same record as the Spirit, maybe a couple points less.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they did, but I'll
tell you what they did. I watched the Peterborough London games. They were very, very physical, and they were around the net, both ends. So they got the rebounds and they got the defense. They played very well. They played a good game. They took advantage of physicality. Checks were unbelievable. I mean, and legal checks. There were a few that weren't, but for the most part, some of the checks into the board were punishing, but legal. And they were very, very physical. But I really think the thing that turned the game was the way they played the net. Their defense was in front of the net all the time. Their offense was where it needed to be to get rebounds. And that's how you win.
Well, it's just like Ottawa. Ottawa dominated, and they got some, they got the Spirit's best player. They They got people for the tournament, and it didn't matter.
Well, hey, you don't have to go that far. Look at Windsor. Windsor spent all of their trade capital to stack their team, and they got blown out. Blown out in 4 games. Didn't do them any good.
That's
and
the way
now,
Sarnia beat. Yeah.
And now next year, they don't have any capital to rebuild that team. They're going to have some problems for a couple of years.
Yeah. But, after the way Sarnia beat the Spirit, I was thinking that they would get to the finals. But no. London beat them again.
I was not.
So
I have to be honest. Sarnia outplayed. I mean, we didn't play poorly, but Sarnia played better. They deserved the wins. And I wasn't totally surprised because they also stacked. They spent some capital to get some players, and it paid off a little bit more for them. But in the long run, London, Peterborough, tough to beat. London is always a tough team to beat, and particularly in their own house.
They've had the same coach for quite a while, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's from the NHL.
Yeah, and he's good. He's very good.
So that helps.
Yeah, it helps. Of course it does. Can't wait till next year when the Memorial Cup is here. Can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Okay.
All right.
Talk to you later, Art.
Good enough. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
And we'll continue on. Scott's in Saginaw. Good morning, Scott.
Hey, morning, Art. Hey, I'll make this quick. Yesterday, you had a caller that was very concerned about U.S. citizens owning legal guns and ammunition. And I'd just like to say to people with that same mindset, mind your own business. It doesn't matter what a legal citizen legally owns. And see, that's the problem with the Democrat Party. They got to tell us what size light bulb we can use, what kind of car we can drive, where we can go, how much sodium we can have in our food, what size soda we can have. And again, I just like, mind your own business. If the people aren't breaking the law, let them have 1 million guns. They can only shoot 1 or 2 at a time.
I forgot about that soda issue. That was in New York City. I remember that well. I remember that one well.
It just seems like these Democrats just always want to be in everybody's business. If they don't like pork, they'll go shut the restaurant down instead of going around the corner and not eating pork at a different restaurant. It's just mind your business. Let Americans live. If they're not breaking the law, shut your mouth.
All right.
I'll leave it at that.
Good enough.
All right, Art.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. And Mark in Bay City. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, I wanted to get your thoughts on a subject. About 15, 20 years ago in Ohio, there was a woman that was held captive, and she crawled out the front door of a house.
I remember that.
And I think there was other women in there that were held captive as well.
Yeah, if I remember right.
So there's a news report that came out the other day that 80,000 children in the United States are unaccompanied or missing. They don't know where they're at. My concern is two. Why aren't they going after the sponsors? Because isn't those sponsors supposed to enroll kids in schools or get doctors and shots? And they wouldn't be missing if we located the sponsors or maybe did a follow-up.
If they had sponsors. Did they have sponsors, or are these kids that came across the border illegally and we don't know where they are?
Well, Kim Jean-Pierre said that they all have sponsors, that, they all been matched up. And that was the biggest thing, is who did the vetting for the sponsors and so forth. And my concern is...
Who did the vetting for Jean-Pierre is what I want to know.
Yeah. But my concern is in 15 years or so, when we watch the news and we see the same scenario happen where kids were held captive, grew up, or what have you, we're all going to say is how did this happen?
Yeah,
well,
but that's anecdotal.
Point is right here.
It's anecdotal because that's 1 in a million for that to happen. Anything could happen. But I just think that the systems we have in place today, foster care and the like, a lot of kids, you hear it all the time, they fall through the cracks. And I don't know the answer. I do not know the answer.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to get your thoughts on
Cool
it.
enough. Yep.
All right.
Thanks, Mark. Have a
Take
good
care.
one. Bye-bye now.
You too. Bye.
9:35, the Art Lewis Show. Lines open for you. Give us a call. Let me chat with you for a minute about my favorite car company, McDonald Ford in Freeland, because that's where I've bought my cars for years. And McDonald Ford wants you to know that they are now buying cars. Hear me right, buying cars. I'm not going to tell you what they're selling. I'm going to talk about buying cars. You can sell your vehicle to McDonald Ford, and it's a simple process. Take your cell phone, take 7 photos of your car, and I'll tell you what those photos are, and you send them to joe@mcdonaldford.com. Photos must be of the front, the rear, the left and right sides, the car's interior, and the dashboard showing the vehicle mileage, and a photo of your title showing the VIN number. After that, you're going to receive an offer, and then you decide if you want to accept the offer. If you accept the offer, payment is on the spot and includes all paperwork and a lien release if you have a lien. Don't wait. Put cash in your pocket today. And while you're at it, tell your friends and family too. Send your photos to joe@mcdonaldford.com. That's joe@mcdonaldford.com. And by the way, mention my name, Art Lewis, and they'll throw in a free lunch with the deal. McDonald Ford, 6790 Midland Road in Freeland. They are devoted to helping and serving you.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
When they're investigating, we can't stop watching. This month on BritBox, sit back, relax, and enjoy watching the detectives. Discover Britain's most bingeable mysteries, including the brand new season of Grace, the hit series based on the books by best-selling author Peter James. Unwind with the detectives you could watch all night long. Stream them all now exclusively on BritBox. Endlessly intriguing. Start your free trial at BritBox.com.
Jesse Kelly here. I'm not a financial expert, but I do look for solid investment opportunities for investment growth and protection against loss. I do know that putting all your eggs in one basket is not a good financial plan. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver with Oxford Gold is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Or you can buy precious metals and keep them in your safe. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
At Simply Safe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with Simply Safe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options, backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, we're back with you on WSGW. Open phones this hour. You can give us a call, chat with whatever's on your mind. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we'll be hearing from Terry Henney. Good news. Farmers market's opening up. And it will be in Saginaw. down at the SVRC Marketplace. Couple of things. This one caught my attention. This was in the Free Press this morning. Ottawa County in Michigan has become what they are calling a constitutional county after a big divided input from the public. The Ottawa County Board of Commissioners voted Wednesday morning, early this morning, to approve a resolution declaring Ottawa County a constitutional county. And this has to do with the governor and Democrats targeting some safety issues with guns. And this was in response to the gun reform legislation. And all it does, it really is not an operational law, so to speak. What it does is affirms the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms and the protection of parental rights under the 14th Amendment. Now, even though the words parent and parental rights are not found in the 14th Amendment, it's been argued since the 90s that the Due Process Clause protects the fundamental right of parents to direct the care, upbringing, and education of their children. That's an interpretation of that in the same way that for a long time, Roe v. Wade, while the Constitution does not specify a right to have an abortion, the ruling for a long time was that that it was a privacy issue in the Constitution. And of course, they passed this constitutional county thing, but they can't tell the sheriff or the prosecutor how to do their jobs. And both the sheriff, Steve Kempker, and the prosecutor said they will continue to run their offices in a constitutional and legal way, protecting the citizens as they always have. So, you know, you could file this away as, feel-good legislation. Look what we did. It will have no impact because the laws that were passed by the legislature, the safe storage law, universal background checks, extreme risk protection orders or red flag laws, they're in play now. And the county isn't going to be able to change that. The sheriffs, the prosecutors around the state can choose to ignore them if they want, at their own peril, of course. But the reality is the laws are the law right now. We may not like it, but that's the way the law is. And they can pass all the wording they want to claim they're a constitutional county and all of that. It doesn't change anything. Doesn't change a thing. So, Ottawa County, good luck. I started out talking about sports. Guess what? If you watch a lot of sports on television, it is liable to get more expensive because in 2013, for example, ESPN hit cable subscribers with a carriage fee of $5.54 a month, which was passed on to you in your cable bill. And that number went up last year because a lot of people cut their cable. And it's probably going to go up again, probably to about $8. Disney, which owns ESPN, is actively preparing to make the channel a standalone streaming service available only to subscribers. That seems to be the way we see all these plus channels out there. And, you know, it's going to be interesting. There was talk this year that Bally Sports could go belly up and it would lose the ability to broadcast Tigers baseball. Well, one thing I could tell you, you'll always be able to hear them on the radio. But It's going to get expensive if all of these sporting outfits move on to the streaming platforms, and you got to pay subscription prices to all of them. It's going to be expensive, and they've all gotten more expensive. And there are MLB TVs. There's the NBA League Pass, NHL Center Ice, WNBA. All of these cost money. So watching your favorite pastime could get expensive. We will be back. Lines open for you on the Art Lewis Show.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Silly, careless human. You unleashed my power. Just try and stop me. I dare you.
Debris burning is the leading cause of wildfires in Michigan. All it takes is a spark.
Play with me, and you will get burned.
Don't go starting something wild. Learn when it's safe to burn at michigan.gov/burn permit. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Natural Resources and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but costs as low as $3 per dose? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at just $3 per dose. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but only $3 per dose. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Paid actor, not a real customer. Quote based on a healthy, non-smoking 44-year-old male with a 20-year term policy. Rates may vary.
Welcome to Ethos, a new kind of insurance company that believes life insurance should be hassle-free, affordable, and accessible for everyone.
For around $1 a day, I got a 20-year, $250,000 term life insurance policy without a medical exam. All I had to do was answer a few health questions and snap, family protected. It was quick and easy. Ethos is 100% online. I got a quote in seconds, applied in minutes, and got coverage in hours. Just answer a few health questions. No medical exam, no blood tests, no hassle. Look, nobody wants to plan for the unthinkable, but it would be so much worse to not plan at all. So don't put it off. It feels great having the peace of mind knowing that my family is protected.
Ethos, the 100% online hassle-free way to get affordable life insurance. Don't wait. Get your free online quote now at ethoslife.com. That's ethoslife.com.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The resignation from adulthood. I have decided I would like to accept the responsibilities of an 8-year-old again. I want to go to McDonald's and think that it's a 4-star restaurant. I want to sail sticks across a fresh mud puddle. I want to think M&Ms are better than money because you can eat them. I want to return to a time when life was simple and all you knew were colors, nursery rhymes. That didn't bother you because you didn't know what you didn't know and you didn't care. I want to think the world is fair, that everyone is honest and good. I want to be oblivious to the complexities of life and be overly excited by the little things again. So, I am officially resigning from adulthood. And if you want to discuss this further, you'll have to catch me first because tag, you're it.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, welcome back here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Lines open 752-6111, 989 area code, of course, 989-752-6111. Coming up after the 10 o'clock news, Deb Sanchez will be here with a Promise scholar to talk about Saginaw Promise and how it works. Something else happening today. It is expected the Republican field for president will get more crowded because Ron DeSantis is expected to announce today, and in a way which is a surprise, he's going to do it with Elon Musk on Twitter. That's going to be where he does the announcement. And should be interesting. The surprise, of course, is he's doing it with Musk. And now, give it a few weeks of campaigning, we'll get a better sense of polling. Right now, anyway, Donald Trump is way ahead in the polls. But once DeSantis officially gets in the race and starts to campaign and get his message out there, I suspect the polls are going to tighten up quite a bit. We'll see. Talk to Carl in Saginaw. Carl, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. I think it was Trump who said that DeSantis needs a personality transplant. And
Trump is going to say a lot of things about DeSantis. Let's be honest about
it. But DeSantis is a little bit awkward unless he's in, his home turf, talking about banning books. He just seems a little, and especially putting him with Elon Musk, who is awkward in public situations too. The two of them together, it just seems a strange pairing to me.
Well, you would feel that way.
Doing it on Twitter, where only 20% of the population, is on Twitter, and they'd all have to be listening at the same time. And there's not even a video; it's just audio. The whole thing just
it could be video.
Strange.
There could be video.
No, there's no video. They said it's audio.
Oh, it's audio only? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not on it, so I don't know.
So, well, yeah, exactly. So who's gonna listen to
Well, you
that?
just said 20% of the population. That's a lot of people. That's more people than the networks have.
If every single person.
Yeah, just a minute. You're forgetting something, though. You're forgetting something, Carl, either purposely or not. He's going to make the announcement on Twitter. Every single network, cable and live, will pick it up. He will have a vast audience. It doesn't matter.
But again, it will be odd because there'll be no video. They'll only have audio of him.
Well, there may be video that they're taking when they're doing it that the networks will pick up.
Maybe.
In this day and age, you don't escape those things. In this day and age, there's video of everything.
I suppose. A few minutes ago, Art, you had a caller saying that maybe people should just mind their own business more. And I would like to agree with that caller. I think people should mind their own business. And I'd like to give a couple of examples. When a woman goes to see her doctor, I think other people should mind their own business. And if somebody wants to be gay or trans, I think other people should mind their own business.
Okay, let's stop with that one for a minute. For a minute.
Okay.
When someone is of age, I agree with you, absolutely. I would not agree that some teacher should teach a 10-year-old how to be transgender without consulting their parents and go behind their parents' back. That's where I draw a line. We're taking too much away from parents.
No one should go behind the parents' back.
Exactly. Thank you. Then you and I agree.
Clergy shouldn't go behind the parents' back.
I agree.
Did you see the story, Art, in Indiana? Was it Indiana or Illinois? They did this 20-year study of the Catholic Church, and how many more victims now
yes.
they've
Yeah, I did see that.
identified?
Yep.
In-
It's
in
wrong.
the
I don't care who does
thousands.
it. It's wrong. If
Exactly.
if it involves a youngster and does not involve their parents, it's wrong.
Here, here.
All right. Well, then you and I are going to we're going to end on an agreement today, Carl.
So it should be up to the parents, and other people, like politicians, should mind their own business. So I agree. I agree with your caller from before. People should stay out of other people's business.
All right.
All right,
Right, but
thanks, Art.
let's put a caveat to that. As long as their business is legal.
As long as it's legal.
Oh,
yes.
good. Okay, good. There we are.
We're
good.
A woman going to see her doctor should be legal. I agree.
Well, that depends where you live.
Well,
all right.
Yeah.
Good enough, buddy.
Thanks, Art.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. All right. If you're calling in, we'll try and get you answered here real quick. Get you on. We got about a minute for you if we can get you on real quick here. And I guess not. We're not going to get that call. Okay. Here we go. We'll see if we can get them on real fast and get a comment from them. If not, we'll move on. Okay. Billy in Freeland. Billy, we got about a minute, so go ahead.
It's only going to take me 10 seconds. I had your number dialed in, ready to call to respond to the previous caller with the initial of S. And I said to myself, if Carl doesn't call, I will. And he called first, and I couldn't have said it any better. And I say, here, Carl. Thank you.
Good enough.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye.
Billy. Bye-bye. All right, that'll do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Coming up next hour, Saginaw Promise. We'll have guests in the studio for you. Stick around for that. We'll be back to close out the hour after these notes.
Choose to get your next vehicle at Garber. Enjoy Garber's low price guarantee and know that it's never costing you a penny more to make better happen for organizations in our community. Ken Lacuro of the Urban Racket Sports Foundation, can you give me another example of how the new Garber courts are making things better for the kids in our community?
We talked the city school system into having the 3 high schools combine to create a girls' city tennis team because they couldn't in their own right each have a team. So we talked them into using the Garber courts as their home court, and it's kind of fun to see how these kids can use the Garber courts in a high school setting.
And with the incredible popularity of the new Garber pickleball courts, do I hear there's a tournament coming?
They're pretty excited about their Hosbeck Pickles and Peppers Classic. Pretty excited about that too. It's going to bring in an influx of outsiders looking for a place to eat, stay, and so it has a broader benefit to the community now that it's going to have outsiders come into the community.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber. RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Knoll View Golf Course. You are going to get 18 holes of golf for 2 and a cart for only $33. It's usually $66, but you are getting it half off. The Knoll View Golf Course is family-owned, built, and operated. Fridays and Saturdays during music night, they offer steak, shrimp, chicken, and salmon on the grill. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
All right, that'll do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. Again, next hour, we're going to talk about Saginaw Promise. And coming up after the 11 o'clock hour, MBS International Airport will be the subject of focus this morning. James Canders will be with me. Meantime, stick around for the news, CBS News, coming up with the World and the National Report. Lila Geish is in the WSGW newsroom, and she will bring you up to date on the region and the state. And then we will be back with more of the Art Lewis Show right after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. People in one Texas city are struggling as they mark the one-year anniversary of a mass shooting that took the lives of 19 children and 2 teachers.
I'm Chris Fox in Uvalde, Texas, where the victims' families and survivors of the school shooting will have to relive the worst day of their lives.
It's going to be overwhelming, very sad. We are going to have deja vu.
Relinda Areola lost her 10-year-old granddaughter, Amerie Jo Garza. Mercedes Salas taught 4th grade at Robb Elementary in a classroom across the hallway from the massacre.
Every day I wake up thinking of them. I pray for them.
Manuel Rizzo lost a niece. He spent Tuesday at the state capitol fighting for gun reform.
Our justice is to make changes at all levels to prevent another Uvalde.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has made it clear he intends to run for the Republican presidential nomination.
We're proud of what we've accomplished in Florida, but I can tell you this. I have only begun to fight.
Later today, he will make it official in a live Twitter forum alongside the platform's CEO, Elon Musk. Lawmakers in South Carolina have passed a 6-week abortion ban. Republican State Senator Shane Massey predicts
there's going to be a court challenge. And, we've tried very hard to put language in this legislation that responds to the justice's concerns.
The governor has promised to sign the new law as soon as possible. Shoppers will have to do some searching to find new trans-friendly clothing at Target. CBS's Jennifer Kuiper.
Target says it has moved its Pride merchandise from the front of the stores to the back in some southern stores after confrontations and backlash. One of the items that has attracted the most attention are certain women's bathing suits that can be worn by trans women who have not had gender-affirming operations.
There are also kids' versions of those swimsuits. Some angry customers have knocked down the Pride merch displays and threatened employees. Russia claims it has crushed a daring attack on territory that originated in northeastern Ukraine. Correspondent Deborah Pata reports.
The group claiming responsibility, the Free Russia Legion, are pro-Ukrainian Russian defectors and volunteers who joined forces with another anti-Kremlin group.
The Kremlin claims they used machine guns, artillery, and drones. A super typhoon has swept across the northern tip of Guam. The National Weather Service says it's pummeled the U.S. territory with high winds, heavy rains, and dangerous storm surge. Officials there had been bracing for blown-out walls, ruptured fuel storage tanks, and overturned cars. The Dow is down 198 points. S&P off 28. This is CBS News.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Get organized at Menards and save 11% on all your outdoor storage needs. Suncast outdoor storage sheds are ideal for storing all your outdoor equipment and adding security with lockable handles. Maintenance-free all-weather construction provides water resistance and UV protection. Pick up a Suncast 6-foot-tall, 3x2 vertical storage unit for just $179.99 after 11% off. Good through May 29th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Good morning. It's 62 degrees and overcast at 10:05. I'm Lilac Esch. The FBI is looking for a bank robber in Saginaw. On December 29th, a man attempted to rob Team 1 Credit Union. He showed up to the bank wearing a hard hat, a yellow reflective work shirt, and a face mask. The suspect approached the teller with a note demanding money. The man then left in a black Nissan Altima with black rims and tinted windows. They say if anyone has information, to contact the FBI. The Saginaw Police Department will soon have a new K-9 on the force. A 15-month-old German Shepherd and Malinois mix named Taz will join Officer Dominic Vasquez as a member of the Saginaw Police K-9 unit once he completes his training with Magnum K-9. The department says Taz's training includes learning to detect narcotics and track people. Taz will replace K-9 Sigan, who retired along with his handler Officer Brad Holp on May 19th, bringing the total number of Saginaw Police's K-9s back up to 6. Aerial treatments for spongy moths will be underway in Bay and Midland counties this week. The Bay County Forest Sustainability Program and Midland County Spongy Moth Suppression Program will be spraying insecticides through Friday in areas where spongy moth populations have reached outbreak levels. Spraying will be kept primarily to the morning hours when the air is cooler and winds calmer. Both agencies say the chemicals being used are safe for both humans and animals and target the caterpillar of the invasive species that will be feeding in the treetops. In Midland County, the public is invited to watch the treatment helicopters take off and land from the Midland Community Aviation Discovery Area at Jack Barstow Airport. More information can be found at either county's Spongy Moth Program website. WSGW News Time is 10:07.
Greetings, Saginaw County veterans and families. Did you know that Saginaw now has a Veteran Service Center and it is located in the YMCA of Saginaw? It is also the new home of the Michigan Veterans Trust Fund. The Veteran Service Office is staffed with state-accredited service officers who are ready to assist veterans and their dependents, all for potential benefits. Call the Veteran Service Center in the YMCA of Saginaw at 517-927-6692. That's 517-927-6692.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Knoll View Golf Course. You are going to get 18 holes of golf for two and a cart for only $33. It's usually $66, but you are getting it half off. The Knoll View Golf Course is family-owned, built, and operated. Fridays and Saturdays during music night, they offer steak, shrimp, chicken, and salmon on the grill. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. WSGW News Time is 10:08. Weather forecast is up next. South Haven police tried to stop someone for an improper plate and started a chase on I-196, which ended in a crash in Zeeland Township. Police say a South Haven police cruiser and the vehicle were both damaged in the crash Monday night. The suspect was treated for minor injuries. Michigan is looking to grow as a major regional technology destination. That could be thanks to a new federal program. The U.S. Economic Development Administration has set aside $500 million in grants to grow the industries of the future. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist is pitching the state of Michigan as a unique opportunity. With only 20 regions being selected and $25 million per hub, that type of investment would create and attract high-paying jobs to Michigan, helping our economy beyond manufacturing.
Our fresh water, having 21% of the world's fresh water, means for technologies and companies that are related to waterways, marine autonomy, and marine engineering, we have an advantage unlike any other state in the country for that realm.
5 people are hospitalized after a wrong-way driver sped through 2 counties this morning. Police first spotted the man headed north in the southbound lanes of US 23 in Dundee. Michigan State Police says he hit several cars in Monroe County before crossing into Washtenaw County. Around 10:30, the 38-year-old from Plymouth crashed into 4 cars near Willis Road. 5 people, including the men, were taken to St. Joe's Hospital in Ypsi. Police say the man, driving a Ford Edge, was under the influence of alcohol or drugs. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 10:10. I'm Lilac Esch. Now for your weather report from WNEM First Alert Meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
If you're closer to Lake Huron, you likely stay in the 40s all day, and then closer to the upper 50s to low 60s for the Tri-Cities and the Flint area. This is just all with a cold front from this morning. We'll have sunny skies, though, for the afternoon, but then clear tonight. And then there are frost advisories for all of mid-Michigan tonight because of the colder weather on the way. A lot of lows settling only into the lower to middle 30s, even some freeze warnings up north, too. Either way, night that you'll need to protect your plants. For your Thursday, a high of 58, sunny. Friday, also sunny, a high of 71. We could see some patchy frost on Thursday night too, but definitely the chance for frost is better on this Wednesday night. It'll be warm up into the weekend. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
And right now, 53 degrees under cloudy skies at WSGW.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed. Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw is our sponsor. Stop in, see their expanded showroom with new products, including countertops for you. Everything for home decorating at Westside Decorating Center. There is something in this area called Saginaw Promise. It has to do with educational scholarships. We're going to find out more about it this morning because its director, Deb Sanchez, is with us this morning. Deb, good morning.
Good morning, Art, and thank you for having us.
Ah, good to see you. And tell us who you brought with you.
I brought one of our Saginaw Promise scholars, Jeremiah Ryan, and she is a 2023 college graduate from Oakland University.
Oh, well, wait a minute, Jeremiah. So you were a recipient 4 or 5 years ago, right?
Yes, 2019.
What'd you study in college, out of curiosity?
I studied fashion accessories design from the College for Creative Studies in Detroit.
A fashion accessory designer.
Yes.
Ooh, got your own product line yet?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, she does. She's about to reach for it.
Yes, I have my purse.
That's you designed it?
Yes, I designed
Hold that up.
it.
The people on the stream, just wait a minute. Hang on. I forgot to do something. So let me do this. Just a minute here. And there we go. Now look at that, folks. Wow. Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
So I assume you are hoping to have a full career in this?
Absolutely.
With your own company?
Absolutely, yes.
Wow. So what is it, Deb, that attracts you to someone like Jeremiah, and how do you decide to give her a scholarship?
Well, actually, the Saginaw Promise is based on a residency-based scholarship. It is a scholarship that if you reside in the Saginaw Promise Zone, which are the cities of Saginaw, Zilwaukee, Kochville, and that area of Buena Vista that is designated the Saginaw Public School District, you can simply complete the Saginaw Community Foundation Scholarship as well as FAFSA. And you will receive.
FAFSA?
FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. But what we're trying to do with, I know it's a mouthful, but that's why FAFSA
So
is
you complete
easier.
the application. Do you have to be granted FAFSA to get the scholarship?
No,
Okay.
no. In fact,
Just the fact that you applied.
that's right. And the thing is we really were trying with those two requirements, as well as residency and school attendance, was to really help students assure that they're going to have enough funding for school. And that's looking at those federal dollars, that's looking at those grants that the Community Foundation has, as well as using the Saginaw Promise Scholarship.
So I think we need to back up because I kind of jumped ahead here a little bit. Tell everybody what Saginaw Promise is for those that don't know.
Thank you. The Saginaw Promise was really started as an economic initiative, a way of helping Saginaw's economy and quality of life. And we looked at doing that through the retention of population and the growth of population, and doing that with the incentive and benefit of a scholarship for post-secondary education. Live in these areas, and your students, your family members will earn a scholarship.
Is the Promise program a national initiative? I know there are promises elsewhere, but I've always learned about them in Michigan.
Right. And Michigan is really the only one that has an association where you have 13 different promise zones, but yet we're individual. Kalamazoo was actually the inspiration for not only the national, but the worldwide initiative.
So you're giving out scholarship money. It has to come from someplace.
Yes.
How do you get the funds to give out the scholarships?
We raise those funds annually. We do it through special
government
events.
grants.
Well, actually what's happened,
there?
well, as a result, we are getting a state, an SET, a state tax capture. And that happened after 2 years. We had to follow making sure that we were doing what we were supposed to be doing as far as reports and what have you. And if the property valuation went up, the legislature, when they formed the Promise Zone Act, committed that we would receive half of that increase. And that increase has been growing for us, which is
that
great.
gives you a foundation.
It gives us some additional funds, but we still depend on raising those other funds through our special events, sponsorships, direct appeal, grants, you name it.
We'll talk about that more. What did it mean to you, Jemima?
It meant everything. It was a huge relief. I went to a private institution, so the cost of attendance was very expensive. So knowing that I had the support from Saginaw Community Foundation and just receiving financial benefit for 2 semesters was amazing.
So
it was actually a Saginaw Promise.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. Saginaw Promise.
Did you have other grants and other
Yeah, I
scholarships?
did have other grants. I did have other scholarships from my institution, thankfully. So it was just more so of a outreach and research standpoint.
Which is the way you want to see it work, right, Deb?
Exactly.
I mean, she's a perfect example of how it can work.
Right.
That's right. And what we're trying to do is give them that base support and give them that hope and that encouragement. And
So-
then they go on from there.
I'm looking at Jemima, so I know she's here and she graduated college. Do you keep track of how many of your recipients actually make it through the 4 or 5 years?
We actually just started to do that. It was always difficult because we usually funded the first 2 years, and during the first 2 years, they haven't attained yet, unless it's a program certificate. And then communication with them, keeping ongoing communication with scholars was difficult. But we did through the, and I'm not going to remember the name of this, but the NIC, we actually have gotten a report back, and now we're trying to figure out how to take that, extrapolate that data. And so we will be able to go back to 2012's class up to 2021's class and really see what the attainment rate was, how many years of college have they completed, and so forth.
All right, Jemima, let's talk for a little bit about your career.
Mhm.
When did you know you wanted to be a fashion accessories designer? At what point in your life?
I would say probably kindergarten.
Kindergarten?
Yeah, always.
She's in a different world than I am. You don't live in my world.
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to do something in fashion, just something creative in general. So my artistic journey started at Heaven Ridge, and then I transferred to Saginaw Arts and Sciences Academy.
You went to SASA, okay.
Yep, and then I did a 3D concentration from 6 to 12. And that even developed my artistic standpoint even further. And then that what led me to the College for Creative Studies. And then I pursued fashion for a more advanced standpoint then on.
So when did you graduate?
2023. Yeah, May 11th.
This year?
Yeah.
You just graduated this month.
Yeah, just this month.
So when does your career begin?
Essentially, thankfully, at the institution I'm in, or I was in, our careers began freshman year. So they trained us networking with companies. I've networked with companies such as Stuart Weitzman, Kate Spade, just a tapestry company. Overall, I did a 2-piece shoe collection with Stuart Weitzman my junior year. So they gave us a lot of industry experience from freshman year then on.
So out of curiosity, have you had products to the marketplace?
Like, what do you mean? Like
Well,
the bags? Like I
yeah,
have? Yeah. So I developed my brand junior year after my
What is your brand?
experience. The Ryan & Co. So the Ryan.co. That's where you can get the purses. And I started in junior year after Stuart Weitzman. I came back home and I was like, I need to start my own purses. So it's been in development since my junior year. And it officially launched right in time for graduation. So I had my open house and event launch at the same time.
Did you sell any?
Yeah, I sold out actually. So the black will come out next week. Yeah, I had to get more. I had brown the first launch.
So you design a product.
Yes.
You also have to know how to go to market to get that product manufactured.
Yes. And that's what I learned at the institution as well. And
So
it
where
saved
did
me a
you
lot
go
of
to have your
time.
bags produced?
Overseas.
I was waiting to hear you
Yep.
say that. I just knew that was coming.
Yep, overseas. And you have to have
Mainly because that's the only place that does it.
No, absolutely not. We have a
Or-
few manufacturers in the US, and we also my former teacher Darren, he has his own manufacturer, but in terms of going overseas, you save a lot more money.
Now, I was just going to ask.
Yes.
We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
More about Saginaw Promise and some events they have coming up. You brought a good one with you, Deb.
They all are.
Yes, absolutely.
We will be back with our guests after these notes. How was your sleep last night? You know, we're asked to do more for less these days. So when you go to bed, spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. And you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. You have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757. And when we return, we will hear from Terry Henney, who's down at the Saginaw Farmers Market.
When they're investigating, we can't stop watching. This month on BritBox, sit back, relax, and enjoy watching the detectives. Discover Britain's most bingeable mysteries, including the brand new season of Grace, the hit series based on the books by best-selling author Peter James. Unwind with the detectives you could watch all night long. Stream them all now exclusively on BritBox. Endlessly intriguing. Start your free trial at BritBox.com.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks lost ground at the open. Uncertainty over debt ceiling negotiations continues to weigh on investors. The Federal Reserve releases minutes from its recent meeting later today. Some clothing retailers have surprised Wall Street with upbeat earnings news. Kohl's managed to make a profit in its recent quarter. Kohl's is holding up better than expected. Wall Street was expecting Kohl's to lose money in the period. Urban Outfitters says sales rose 5% in the quarter. Its earnings were better than expected, while business declined at its flagship Urban Outfitters business. Sales rose at its upscale Free People and Anthropologie brands. And there are reports that Meta Platforms, Facebook's parent, has started another round of layoffs. The plans for those layoffs were revealed back in March. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Janiko Solda, invested in you.
Jesse Kelly here. If given the choice between financial stress or peace of mind, I will always choose peace of mind. That is why I've secured gold and silver from the Oxford Gold Group. Having precious metals in your home safe or in your 401k or IRA should be considered your investment strategy. Simply put, it's a portfolio protection plan. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's it. You now own real precious metals just like I do. Call 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Hi, everybody. I'm broadcasting this morning from downtown Saginaw, right next to the SVRC Marketplace, where the 2023 season of the Downtown Saginaw Farmers Market is underway. Every, Wednesday and Friday from 10 until 3, Saturdays during the season from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And they're also going to be open on Mondays, they tell me this year, beginning July the 3rd. Through the end of August. Now, every Saturday this season is going to be Kids Day at the Downtown Saginaw Farmers Market. And they've got a lot of what you would expect, that you've come to expect here from the downtown market, on display over the next 3 days. but they've also got some new vendors as well. The goal over the last several years is to try to make the market as up to date, as current and fresh as possible. And that's exactly what they have done. If you want to know more information, just go to their website or like them on Facebook.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The resignation from adulthood. I have decided I would like to accept the responsibilities of an 8-year-old again. I want to go to McDonald's and think that it's a 4-star restaurant. I want to sail sticks across a fresh mud puddle. I want to think M&Ms are better than money because you can eat them. I want to return to a time when life was simple and all you knew were colors, nursery rhymes. That didn't bother you because you didn't know what you didn't know and you didn't care. I want to think the world is fair, that everyone is honest and good. I want to be oblivious to the complexities of life and be overly excited by the little things again. So, I am officially resigning from adulthood. And if you want to discuss this further, you'll have to catch me first because tag, you're it.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. We're talking to Deb Sanchez, the director of Saginaw Promise, the scholarship program, and Jemiah is with us. She is a graduate of not only the program, but of Oakland University, and she has her own business now called Ryan. And she is an accessory designer, mostly in the handbag area right now.
Yes.
Deb will have to sit here and listen because I'm fascinated with her.
Oh, I am too.
And I actually graduated from the College for Creative Studies.
College for Creative Studies in Oakland. Yeah. Okay. So I was asking Ryan during the break because she's done something that I think we're all curious about. She's manufacturing her own products, which are handbags. She has one here in the studio, and it's lovely. And you had to go overseas to get them done.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Where do you have them manufactured?
China.
And the reason you went there is?
Save costs and expenses, especially as a college student.
So the bag that you have there,
Mm-hmm.
your average, let's talk about your average price per purse.
Okay.
How much?
$160.
$160.
Yes.
If you made that product in the United States, have you calculated what the cost would be?
It would be around double that, so around $300.
Around $300 for the same item made here.
Absolutely.
So I do have to ask this because there's been a lot of talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
The purse that you now have, is the quality up to your standards?
Yes.
So they're manufacturing it to your standards.
Yes, they are.
How did you get with a company in China? How does a young woman sitting here in Saginaw, Michigan, contract a manufacturer in China to make a product for them?
So I found a vendor, and a vendor is basically another name for a wholesaler. And I found it on a database called Alibaba. So once you go to Alibaba, you then proceed to get an overwhelming amount of companies overseas. It can be in India, China, wherever. And they either tell you what they're selling, specializing in at that wholesale price. Now, what is the key difference in my business versus others is that typically someone will see an existing handbag or an existing product, and they'll just put their logo on it and get it shipped here. But because of my education and because of my experience, I have experience with tech packing. And that is basically making a pattern on your computer software. And once you get your patterning done, that has to consist of every single detail. It's basically like a recipe for them to make the bag.
It's a blueprint.
Yes. And I did my own tech pack, and I sent it to the manufacturer after I found one. And I went from there. I did sampling, I did durability testing, and then I did my mass production order.
So did you make one before you had them made?
I made a prototype. I made like a little paper mock-up to make sure all my measurements were right, because you have to do that as well after you do your tech packing, just to make sure your measurements even look correct.
And so do you also pick the material, the color? I mean, all of that has to be part of that tech pack, right?
Yes. So thankfully, my manufacturer, after I received my first sample, they gave me swatch books. So they gave me swatch books of all their different materials, hardware, finishing. And from that standpoint, I was able to determine what material I liked the best, what was more beneficial for me, what allowed me to sell the product at a certain price point, and things like that.
Did you have that price point in mind?
Absolutely. I wanted it to be affordable because, the problem, especially in Saginaw, the average income is about $64,000 and the average handbag is about $2,400. So that means your weekly income, which is about, I think, $1,300.
Back up.
Yeah.
Do you have a $2,400 purse?
I do not.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the problem. So I wanted to
Those
create
are designer bags you're talking about.
Yes, designer bags. But then it gives you the perspective of what is a designer bag. Is it the label? Is it the material? Or is it just the notoriety of that company? So that is what Ryan is. It's an affordable luxury company. And it also raises the awareness of Black women in accessories.
But it also is a designer brand because the designer
Exactly.
you, is the one selling it.
Exactly.
And you'd hope someday to have that kind of recognition that a coach or whoever has.
Mhm.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Do you hold her up to everybody and say, look what we did?
I do actually. But I do that with our scholars as I get to know them and I get to see what their aspirations are, their goals. I love talking about our scholars, and sometimes I don't often get to go beyond the financial, discussions.
Mhm.
Because I'm working with the financial aid people, I'm working with the student to make sure payments are being made and so forth, and making sure that they're funded. But when I get to know them a little bit more and I get to hear about what they're doing, that's exciting.
How many people are involved with Saginaw Promise?
As far as our volunteer board, or that would be 11. Well, we have 11 board members that we can have, but we have 10 currently. Yes.
You have an opening on your board?
We do. Well, right now we probably will not. They're already meeting and they're going to be filling that spot. But yes.
And what's the responsibility of the board? Are they the selectors?
They are actually, yes, they do nominate and select the next board member.
No, I mean students.
Who
picks the scholarship winners?
Actually, that would be me.
Okay.
In that I'm finalizing and just making sure that they've done everything that we've asked them to do, which is to complete the application, complete the attachments that are required, and just to make sure that they're meeting the residency requirements and the school attendance.
Is there a scholarship standard as to grade point?
No, actually, with the Saginaw Promise, and that was something, I was not on the board at the time, and I wasn't a staff member at the time, but I was part of the committee. And the big discussion was, if we want to really make this a benefit and really promote post-secondary education, let's not stymie those students who maybe didn't perform in high school, but they get excited by that niche or that study that they go into in post-secondary ed. So we eliminated the need for a grade point average.
So it's an opportunity.
Well, let me just couple that up, though. I don't want anyone to think that, it's
right.
No, the students must maintain the standards of the institution that they enroll with.
Right.
And there is no financial. We do not look at the parental income. That is not a consideration for us. We're just trying to impact Saginaw.
So it's an opportunity for everybody.
Yes,
it is.
As long
as they meet the basic qualification of filling out the application and the federal thing.
Exactly.
What's it called?
FAFSA.
FAFSA.
That's the acronym. Yes.
It really does provide an opportunity. The Saginaw Promise helped you, Jemiah.
Absolutely.
What would you have done if you didn't get it? Would you have found other means to?
I would have just, kept going, taking out that loan. the dreading student loans, but thankfully that took a little bit of weight off my shoulders.
So did you have any loans, or did you manage to get through with just scholarships, grants?
Oh no, I have loans. Yeah. No, yeah.
Sell them purses.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Buy a bag.
And invest in this student's
Yes,
future.
yes.
And the website, by the way, folks, is www.theryan.co. And you can find out about Jemiah's handbags online.
Yes.
We're going to take a break, come back with our guests after these notes.
Who sells your soybeans overseas, increasing sales to Egypt, India, and many other emerging markets? Who has made you the #1 protein source in chicken feed? Who has made the next big breakthrough to boost your soybean yield? The answer to all of these questions is you. That's right, you do, through your soy checkoff. By pooling your resources through your soy checkoff, you are promoting your soybeans to new markets. You are discovering new practices and seed varieties to overcome your biggest challenges in the field. You have even turned $2 million of infrastructure research into $460 million per year in extra income for all soybean farmers. There is power in numbers, and you and your fellow soybean farmers are proving it by bringing tangible returns back to you and your operations through your soy checkoff. You can see all the ways your soy checkoff is moving soy forward for you at unitedsoybean.org. That's unitedsoybean.org. It's all about you doing things together as your soy checkoff.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to GetRefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Men, you fought hard for the role that you play in your children's lives. This Father's Day, Cordell & Cordell celebrates you the entire month of June. Join us every Friday for our live webinar series, Father's Fridays. There you'll receive much useful information from our panel of speakers. To register, go to CordellCordell.com/Father's Day.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
The WSGW Morning Team.
Here is the WSGW online poll for you about the cash or the card you use. The number of Americans using cash to complete transactions continues to wane. More and more businesses, entertainment venues, sporting arenas, cashless. People are finding cards more convenient. In a lot of cases, even getting some rewards. Recent surveys, though, show an unexpected increase in the use of cash, especially related to Generation Z, the adults in the 18 to 26 range. Gen Zers say that cash is forcing them to be more thoughtful about spending. It's a great budgeting tool, especially if you tend to overspend when swiping your card. The WSGW poll question for you: do you use cash or card for transactions? You can answer, I use cash more than a card, I use card more than a cash, or I use them about the same. Your responses at WSGW.com, scrolling down the homepage and finding the poll box and voting that way.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
And we're back with you. here on WSGW, talking about Saginaw Promise with Deb Sanchez, its director. And Jemiah is a designer who graduated from school and has her own company now called Ryan, and it's a handbag company. And the world is not going to stand in the way of this woman, is it?
No.
Absolutely not.
You're not going to let it stand in the way,
No.
right? Very good. The scholarships that are handed out, we were talking during the break, and you mentioned that there are those who didn't use the whole scholarship, still have some remaining.
Yes.
But they graduated. What can they do
Yes.
with it?
When they graduated from high school, they may have not even used the Saginaw Promise. They may have said, oh, I'm going to take some time off, and then they think they've lost it. Well, they haven't. Students who have completed the application have up to 6 years to avail themselves of the Saginaw Promise scholarship from their high school graduation date.
And what is the scholarship? What are we talking about?
Now we just our board has increased the value of the scholarship to $1,400 a semester.
Oh,
That'd
wow.
be $2,800 for the year.
Was it? I
it's
had
up to 2 years.
$500 stuck in my
Oh
mind.
no! We
Was that
started
the
out
original?
we started out at 1,000.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, but however, if you're going to a 4-year school, that would be the $1,400 that we've set up for the fall. If you're going to a community college, we are mandated by the state of Michigan to pay the tuition to get them to an associate's degree. So we might be spending
a full scholarship for it.
Oh, it is $2,600, $2,700 a semester, depending on their enrollment. And what's nice about that, we have had many students start out at a community college debt-free, except for books, whatever else they might have spent. But going on to
So
a
you
four-year
could go
school.
to Delta, for example,
Yes,
tuition free, and then move on to one of the other universities at
Exactly.
$1,400 a semester scholarship to start.
right. And also, too, just to
Wow.
point out, we would use Delta College for technical or trade schools, too, because our goal is for
Okay,
students.
you will also fund technical and trade,
Oh,
not just
yes.
academic.
Oh, most definitely, because we're looking at students earning either a program certificate or a degree. And so we would use Delta as our baseline for that as well.
Wow. That's a heck of a program.
Well, we're really trying to impact. Again, it goes back to the economic initiative of the Saginaw Promise. We are working to really propel Saginaw and its economy and the quality of life. And we believe that we can do that through post-secondary education. And just as we were talking about Jemiah, once you have that education, that's something that
Yeah.
can't be taken away from you.
The issue we have today in Michigan, anyway, and Jemiah is an example of, she's the anecdotal issue that's not there.
Hmm.
She got her education and she stayed here. So many we educate and then they're gone.
Well,
we have to stem
yes.
that tide. Somehow we have to stem that tide.
And that is something that we have to look at. We have to look at what other opportunities can we present to students? What can we give them in the way of a career? What other, what can we enhance
Yeah.
and promote? That's another thing to our students.
Did you ever think of moving your company someplace else, or did you know you were coming home?
I knew I was coming home until I figured something else out. But I knew Saginaw needed something like this. It was rarely seen from my personal experience. So I knew that if someone saw me doing it, that they would be inspired to do the same.
So I'm curious, Jemiah, because having talked to you, obviously you're a brilliant woman when it comes to this, and you're way ahead of me on this stuff. What do you see yourself doing 5 years from now? What's the Ryan company going to look like?
The Ryan company is going to be extremely established. We're going to have so many different styles, so many different target audiences. I plan to have unisex items for men and women. We're just going to be taking everything by storm. We're going to be, we have a lot of philanthropic goals, scholarships, mentorship programs. Like, I have a lot of vision for my company.
Do you have a lot of designs on hold that you can go to and say, okay, this is going to be next? Or are
Yeah.
you designing these things as you go?
No, I have a lot of designs on hold, and that is saving me a lot of time and stress because I can plan when I want a product to be released.
So how often do you sit down with pen and paper and design something else?
So, unfortunately, how my head has been spinning lately, in May, and preparing for graduation and everything like that, I haven't had a lot of time, but thankfully, because I did it in bulk during school, I was able to save myself a lot of time months on out.
The reason I ask is people who are creative,
Mm-hmm.
artists, paint, writers who write, what have
Mm-hmm.
you, comes in spurts. You know,
Yeah.
they'll sit down and maybe they'll have writer's block. They can't write a thing. The
Yeah.
next day they get up and it's pouring out of them.
Yeah.
Do you force yourself to sit down and design, or do you say, "Oop, I got an idea," and I sit down and design it?
What I do is if I have an idea, I take a mental note. I either take a picture of it. It's just like engraved in my brain. And then when I get a chance to sit down, that's when the creative flow starts to begin. And unfortunately, a lot of creatives, it can get overwhelming when you are trying to design something, especially when you have like a full-time college curriculum. It's just like it's just gonna have to hold until next time.
You can go online to the Ryan, THERYAN.co. Don't go to .com, go to .co, and you'll see the current handbag that is available. And pretty soon the black bag will be available.
Absolutely, next week.
Next week. So there you go. We'll be back to talk about some special events coming up for Saginaw Promise as we talk to Deb Sanchez and Jemiah Ryan here on the Art Lewis Show.
It's big, it's loud, and it's lurking in your basement or your garage.
Honey, it's making that noise again.
It's your water heater.
If your water heater is on the fritz, call A Plus Plumbing today. Let's replace that old clunker with a compact, high-efficiency, tankless water heater. From maintenance to repair to complete installation, A Plus Plumbing handles all commercial and residential needs. A Plus Plumbing, your tankless water heating experts. Online at aplusplumbingmi.com.
Take your career to all new heights at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort and Saginaw Eagles Landing. With a wide variety of positions for all levels of experience, there's a perfect opportunity for you at one of Michigan's premier gaming and entertainment destinations. Visit us online at SoaringEagleCasino.com for a full list of openings. Plus, learn about benefits, free staff lunches, $15 an hour minimum wages, and more. Apply today at Soaring Eagle Casino Resort and Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Jesse Kelly here. I'm not a financial expert, but I do look for solid investment opportunities for investment growth and protection against loss. I do know that putting all your eggs in one basket is not a good financial plan. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver with Oxford Gold is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Or you can buy precious metals and keep them in your safe. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
I'm broadcasting this morning from the downtown Saginaw Farmers Market. Opened up this morning at 10. It'll be going until 3 this afternoon. This coming Friday, they're also going to be open from 10 until 3. And this Saturday from 10 until 1. at the downtown Saginaw Farmers Market location. This is the outdoor location located right next to the SVRC Marketplace. Something new, something different, and a lot of things that you've come to expect from the downtown Saginaw Farmers Market are here and will be here over the entire season. The season begins today and goes all the way through October the 28th. And again, as I said, it's in the outdoor pavilion at the SVRC Marketplace at 203 South Washington Avenue in downtown Saginaw. Our broadcast today brought to you by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. Stop by any of their conveniently located offices near you and find out how they can be your hometown financial solution. Back with more next hour.
Has this ever happened to you? Your significant other says, we've got to redo the kitchen, and you break out into a cold sweat?
Well, don't worry. It's a common condition, something we call needless remodeling anxiety. And we've got the cure. Heck, we are the cure. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Whether you do it yourself or direct it yourself, we can help you keep your project on track and on budget.
So join us this weekend for the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
The Money Pit, Saturday mornings at 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. Deb Sanchez in studio, and also with us, Jemai Ryan with us, and she has her own accessories line. She is a Saginaw Promise scholar and graduated college and created her own company. So, Deb, we started out talking about fundraising and how you make money.
Yes.
You have some events coming up, so let's talk about some of those.
We do. We have our Swinging for the Promise, which is a golf event, and that will be held on Thursday, August 17th at the Saginaw Country Club, which is a wonderful venue, and we certainly invite people to, they can either contact me, go online on our website, and they can get information on it. We just did an email blast yesterday to a large group.
And the shotgun start is at 10 a.m.
Yes, it is at 10 a.m.
It's a 4-person scramble.
Yes.
18 holes with a cart, driving range, hot dog and chips at the turn, barbecue buffet dinner, and awards presentation. Ooh.
That's going to be great.
And at the Saginaw Country Club, for those who have never played the club, it's a great place to learn to play golf and play golf.
It is. And I think that's also an attractive feature, too.
Yeah. Yeah, for people who haven't played there, it would be. $165 a person, which in today's golf world is about average, not bad. Mm-hmm. And that raises a pretty good hunk of change for you, right?
It does. It does. We have our chairperson is Mark Johnston. We have Steve Yaki, and we have Coach Marshall Thomas on the committee. And so they're helping us to really expand this fundraiser. And it is one of our main fundraisers. We do the Power of a Promise.
So what is the Power of the Promise? Tell us about that.
That we have not defined who our keynote speaker is this year, but generally what that allows us to do is to have either a lunch or a dinner event, and we bring together a keynote speaker who is notable, someone that people will be attracted and want to come to see, and then we'll also bring in a scholar. And as I mentioned to you during the break, that Jeremiah will be our featured scholar speaker this year, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to really promote what we're trying to do with post-secondary education and to raise funds for that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we'll have more information once we finalize, but usually it's a fall event. It has been, at least in recent years, a fall event at Horizons. So wonderful meal, wonderful program, and for a good cause.
Not black tie.
No.
Ah, gee. I'm looking for an excuse.
Well, maybe eventually, but no, usually business attire.
I have an idea for a speaker. I'll have to talk
Really?
to you about.
Okay. We would love to hear it. We're always looking for that potential. We do have actually a speaker or a family of speakers for next year, and that's Dr. Phil Bowman. He has agreed to be a speaker. He is a department head at he's a dean actually for the University of Michigan. and he has a family. His wife has her PhD. Actually, the whole family has their PhD. Some of them more degrees. A doctor's degree, a law degree is mixed into that. A statistician degree is worked into that.
Wow.
But the whole family,
That's
he's
interesting.
thinking that the whole family will come back.
That's
Their
good.
parents are graduates of Saginaw High, and we are going to hold it at Saginaw United.
Oh, that'd
Which
be
is
one of
the
the
new
first
high
events,
school.
yeah.
And we've already, Dr. Roberts, who's the superintendent of public schools, thought it was a great idea and has supported that. So we'll be doing that one. Possibly, I've got to get a firm date from him, what's going to work best for them.
First, they got to build a building.
And it could be, September, early
Yeah.
October, because, they're just coming back into school starting.
Yeah, they got to get the building finished.
Oh, that's right. I know. It's so, have you seen that
It
building?
would be open air right now.
Yes. It'll be done.
That's good. Glad to hear it. So, so you have those events.
Yes.
If someone is interested in donating
Yes.
to Saginaw Promise, how would they do that?
They can go online to our website, and under donations, there is a donations page there, and they can make a donation that way. They can also call me. They can certainly attend our events. They can become a sponsor. So we have a variety of ways that people can contribute and be a part of this. And really, this program is really based on that community support. That was the support that was coming to us. Initially, when we held our first event, we were very privileged to have Magic Johnson as our keynote speaker. That certainly gave us a big boost, a big awareness in the community, but it also brought people in to donate and to be sponsors. And so it's always been that community support that has been so supportive of the Saginaw Promise.
Now, Magic Johnson was an important part of this, wasn't he?
He was, being that first speaker and saying, yes, I will participate with your event. And there was no cost to us other than water. That's the one thing you request is bottled water in a fruit basket, and even now the fruit basket hasn't even been requested for the last several events. It's just Fiji water. No, he's been wonderful to work with. And we've had other wonderful community speakers in the past, talking about Lamar Woodley, Darvin Ham, our university presidents have come and spoken. We've had the governor, we've had Governor Whitmer, and then we had the lieutenant governor come last year.
I'll give you an idea off you.
Okay, definitely. Thank
Got a
you.
good
We
one.
appreciate it.
Jemiah, what's ahead for you in the next couple of months?
Just keeping my brand and my focus. That's it.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us today.
No problem.
Congratulations.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And Deb, as always, fun to chat with you.
Oh, thank you. We always appreciate the opportunity.
It's a great cause. Thanks a lot. We'll take our last break, come back, and then we will close out this edition of the Art Lewis Show after these notes.
We can't see tomorrow, but we can hear it. Tomorrow sounds like hydrogen being added to natural gas to make it more sustainable. It sounds like solar panels generating thousands of megawatts. And it sounds like carbon being captured and stored, keeping it out of our atmosphere. We've been bridging to a sustainable energy future for more than 20 years. Because what we do today helps ensure tomorrow is on. Enbridge. Life takes energy.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at Uma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
News coverage.
Debt ceiling talks at the White House. If we do nothing, we will pay more in interest in the next 10 years than we paid in the last 83.
Nobody will get everything they want in these discussions.
Special Counsel John Durham found the FBI lacked actual evidence.
This has been a big black eye for a lot of the federal law enforcement and intelligence community.
An armed standoff in Bay County's Bangor Township on Saturday.
3 years since the failure of the Eatonville and Sanford dams.
News coverage on WSGW.
Fly ball center field, going back, looking up, and it's gone, a home run! Akil Baddoo with a 3-run shot is his first of the year.
The Tigers play tonight at 7:15 on 790 News Radio WSGW. The WSGW Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, a special thanks to our guests, Deb Sanchez and Jamar Ryan, about the Saginaw Promise. Coming up on Focus, MBS International Airport will be the focus, talking about a number of things, a new partnership they have, their new parking system, and maybe even an extra flight from Delta Airlines to talk about. All of that coming up right after the news here on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kafet. Florida's Republican governor has been touting his record in public appearances for months.
We really showed what it takes to not just win big, and then deliver big.
Later today on Twitter, Ron DeSantis will say he's ready to run on that record when he makes his presidential bid official. CBS's Robert Costa says he's been a target of the GOP frontrunner for months.
Our latest polling shows Governor DeSantis trailing former President Donald Trump by more than 30 points. The question now is, can he close that gap? But doing so will not be easy.
It's a solemn day today in Uvalde, Texas. 1 year ago, the elementary school mass shooting that left 19 children and 2 adults dead. CBS's Lilia Luciano.
For Andrea Herrera, surviving the mass shooting in Uvalde is still a daily recurrence.
It just goes in my mind, just like in loops, like the same clip over and over again.
She was not only at Robb Elementary that day, but her stepbrother, 10-year-old Jose Flores, was killed.
I started crying and I couldn't believe it happened.
Andrea's mother, Cynthia, says her kid's mental health and school performance keeps declining, and the tension in town increasing.
As the debt ceiling deadline closes in, Treasury Secretary Yellen said this morning she believes a deal is possible as GOP and White House negotiators resume discussions. CBS News White House correspondent Nancy Cordes.
The White House, in its latest offer, has said that it would be willing to freeze spending over the next couple of years. Speaker McCarthy said a freeze is not going to work. It's not acceptable. He wants cuts. He is not going to accept anything less.
Well, CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns is in Columbia, South Carolina, where the Republican governor is poised to take final action on a bill banning most abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy.
Once this is signed into law, it will have wide implications for abortion access in the South, with Virginia being the only remaining state in the region without new restrictions since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
Well, CBS's Jim Krasula's got the latest court maneuvering in the case of a woman charged with running over a South Carolina bride and groom.
Defense lawyers are asking for a $100,000 bond for Jamie Komororski. The 25-year-old alleged drunk driver is accused of slamming into newlyweds riding in a golf cart at Folly Beach, South Carolina late last month, killing the bride. Her lawyers say she poses no flight risk or danger to the community and should be released from jail.
And checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 246 points, NASDAQ down 150. This is CBS News.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's first roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.com for a free quote.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Jesse Kelly here. I'm not a financial expert, but I do look for solid investment opportunities for investment growth and protection against loss. I do know that putting all your eggs in one basket is not a good financial plan. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver with Oxford Gold is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Or you can buy precious metals and keep them in your safe. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Good morning. It's 51 degrees and windy at 11:05. I'm Lilac Esch. Michigan State Police are investigating an abduction and sexual assault that reportedly took place Monday night. Troopers, as well as deputies with the Midland County Sheriff's Office, responded to a residence in Sanford after a juvenile female was reported missing. Officials say while police were there, the girl returned home and reported that she had been sexually assaulted and abducted. MSP says several posts are currently circulating on social media that may contain misleading information. Police have not released additional information since the investigation is ongoing, but MSP says there is currently no known threat to the public. Bay City has recently shared their most updated list of vacancies on various city boards, committees, and commissions: the Building Code Board of Appeals, the Compensation Commission, and the Fire Code Board of Appeals, and there is one vacancy available in the Historic District Commission. To view the entire list of openings and apply before June 16th, visit baycitymi.org or call the City Manager's Office at 989-894-8146. Applications and qualifications are also available in the City Clerk's Department in the City Hall, 301 Washington Avenue, Bay City. The Saginaw City County School Liaison Committee has launched a new online version of Hot Times Summer Youth Activities 2023. At saginaw-mi.com/hottimesummer, you can find an extensive list of ready-to-print local events geared towards children of all ages. From baseball to art in the park, reading programs, and scholarship information in the Saginaw area. The Hot Times Summer Youth Activities list is a collaborative effort of the City of Saginaw, Saginaw County, and Saginaw Board of Education. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Join the Great Lakes Moons for cold drinks, tropical shirts, and cheeseburgers in paradise. It's Margaritaville Night, Thursday, June 8th, presented by the Garfield Group. Join fellow parrot heads as we search for our lost shaker of salt.
Salt, salt, salt.
It's also Thirsty Thursday with half-off beer, thanks to J.P. O'Sullivan. The Loons will be wearing Margaritaville-inspired jerseys. Tickets are selling fast at loons.com. Margaritaville Night, Thursday, June 8th at Dow Diamond. Dive in! It's Loons baseball time! Man, I blew up my flip-flop.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
WSGW News Time is 11:08. Hillsdale College is expanding. Groundbreaking took place on their new Graduate School of Classical Education. Their president said it will provide a broad curricular, historical, literary, and philosophical perspective on classical education for full-time students. Founded in 1844, the Christian Liberal Arts College has about 1,500 undergraduate students. The race for Senate in Michigan is getting a little more crowded. Earlier this week, Pamela Pugh, the president of the Michigan Board of Education, threw her hat in the race for the Democratic nomination. Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin is believed to be the frontrunner in the Democratic race, which also includes Metro Detroit businessman Nasser Beydoun and former state representative Leslie Love.
At the State Board of Education, I've worked with my Republican counterparts. We help to keep schools open here in the state of Michigan. When I worked for the city of Flint, We went to the White House under a Trump administration and were able to secure infrastructure dollars, making sure that we were able to get funding for social and emotional supports of children.
Another man has been arrested for pointing a laser at Michigan State Police helicopter, this time in northern Oakland County. They say the chopper was flying during a routine training exercise late Monday night when someone in a Highland Township home pointed a green laser at the aircraft. Police identified the home, and Oakland County Sheriff's deputies were able to confiscate the device and arrest the 53-year-old suspect. A week ago, a man in Madison Heights was also arrested for pointing a laser at the MSP helicopter. Police say they're continuing to see an increase in this dangerous behavior, and anyone who does it will be arrested and prosecuted. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Lilac Esch. Now, here's
This
WNEM
Wednesday
First
is going
Alert
to be
meteorologist
much
Matthew
cooler
Mondro.
across mid-Michigan. If you're closer to Lake Huron, you likely stay in the 40s all day, and then closer to the upper 50s to low 60s for the Tri-Cities and the Flint area. This is just all with a cold front from this morning. We'll have sunny skies, though, for the afternoon, but then clear tonight, and then there are frost advisories for all of mid-Michigan tonight because of the colder weather on the way. A lot of lows settling only into the lower to middle 30s, even some freeze warnings up north, too. Either way, night that you'll need to protect your plants. For your Thursday, a high of 58, sunny. Friday, also sunny, a high of 71. We could see some patchy frost on Thursday night, too, but definitely the chance for frost is better on this Wednesday night. It'll be warm up into the weekend. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Currently, we have 51 degrees under cloudy skies at WSGW.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is presented by RoofMax. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
Yes, indeed. RoofMax. You can find out more about them. A safe, affordable, and easy alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement by going to getroofmax.com, RoofMax with 2 X's, or call Ben at 989-859-6751. One of what I consider to be the gems of the Great Lakes Bay region is our airport, MBS International Airport. And we're going to talk about that today with the man who runs it. We say good morning to James Canders. Good morning, James.
Morning, Art.
Thanks for being with us today.
Always a pleasure.
First of all, a debt of gratitude from me to you for getting me out on the runway for the run the other day. For those of you that don't know, the Children's Grief Center held a 5K run on the airport runway. Run the runway. And James was pretty instrumental in getting that done. How did it work out for you?
Worked out well for the airport and worked out very well for the Children's Grief Center. We're already
probably 400 or 500 people running that runway.
Yes, there were. And we're already going to be having discussions about doing it again next year.
And people have to understand that's not the norm for an airport.
No, not really. We had to make some accommodations, but you were out there on the runways. You saw that there were planes still flying and
they were right behind me.
Yeah, and right over you as
right
well.
over me.
Yeah,
It was a training aircraft did an approach right down the runway that they were using to run on.
Yep. So everybody got a bit of a show while they were out there.
They did. And to do something like that, I mean, you just can't unilaterally wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to close a runway. You got to deal with the FAA. You got to deal with the TSA. You really have to deal with all those people, don't you?
Yes, we had well over 6 months of preparation to get that ready. And it all worked out. And now that we've done it once, it should be easier to do it again in the future.
Yeah, sure. Don't tell yourself that. So a couple of things that are noted. I was in your office the other day. We were chatting, and you told me about the new parking system, which I signed up for, by the way. Tell us about your parking lot and how it changes or what's changed.
Well, about 4 weeks ago, we implemented a cashless parking lot system. A lot of the airports in both in Michigan and around the country are having to go to this type of system. Just it's been a little bit harder since COVID to have a cash system. So we started this program, and it's a bit of a learning curve for us as well as the passengers. You can pay with credit card, or you can do what we recommend is sign up with parking.com and create an account. You can enter in your phone number, your vehicle license plate, and your credit card information. It makes the exit real easy.
And what I didn't realize, but really impressed me, was the fact that once you're signed up on parking.com, that's good all over the United States. I mean, that's not just in Saginaw. That's anywhere where they're signed up with parking.com, right? Which is a lot of places.
It's a lot of places. So they're
Most
all over the country.
airports and, all kinds of parking lots and things.
Yep. And for us, we have a lot of business travelers. It's really easy. They can get their receipts at that account. It doesn't have to be an app. You can just do parking.com online and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that started already?
Yes, starting into April. And while I've got the opportunity, I'll apologize to the public a little bit on this. It's I mentioned a learning curve. There's still been some programming tweaks with the credit card systems that we've been trying to work out. It's been a little rough, but we're constantly out there every day trying to improve it. I've been personally watching the busy times of exit and assisting where I can, just to kind of help get people through and educate
So
the public.
the credit cards, you have a machine at the exit?
Yes.
Put in your credit card, gets it approved, take it out, gate goes up.
That's correct. So you swipe a credit card to come in, and that's what starts the tracking. And then you use a credit card to exit, and that calculates your time and then charges the card
And
accordingly.
with parking.com, it reads your license plate.
Yes.
Once it knows you're in the system, up the gate goes.
Yep. That's how we track everybody coming in and out.
All right. The other thing I had heard about, and I didn't realize it, I don't know what it is. We're going to find out. You have a partnership with CMU?
Yes, we just started that. We're really trying to get out in the region. We had a partnership with CMU before COVID with a lot of, promoting the airport at their sports events. CMU brings a lot of charters through, MBS, and then they bus them over to the events. So we feel it's a real good fit, and it gets us a little bit more notice in their community. And we also have a fair amount of travelers that go to Mount Pleasant for the casino.
Yeah. Yeah. So you could get charters in on that. That'd be really good.
Working on it.
I figured you were. Well, there's also good news about one of the airlines expanding service. We'll talk about that. We're going to take a break, though. Talking to James Canders. He's the guy that runs the airport, folks. MBS International Airport, a gem in our community. If you haven't flown out of it, you really should. I know it's the only way I fly, and have for many, 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 many years. We'll be back with more after these notes, and we'll hear from Terry Henney, too.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
At SimpliSafe, we know during a break-in, every second counts. So our home security system is powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who use Fast Protect technology, only from SimpliSafe, to capture video evidence and verify a threat for fast police response. Now, install SimpliSafe your way. Do it yourself or have an expert set it up for you with new Pro Install. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
As we mentioned all last hour, I'm at the farmers market, the outdoor pavilion here at the SVRC Marketplace. Shelley Harrell with me this morning. Shelley, Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you. We're glad to be back of our 2023 season under the pavilions. We have lots of good things with us today. We've got some convenient items from a couple of the vendors that just because you're stopping down, we want to have something available for you. We've also got lots of plants that are grown right here in Saginaw and Bay City. We've got the lady with the yummy jams and jellies. We've got some donuts down here with Jake's Orchard, a few community tables as well. So we'd like to have you come on down. We're open from 10 a.m. until 3 today. We're back on Friday from 10 until 3, and then Saturday from 10 until 1. This is our opening weekend, so we have lots of fun things planned, and music every day, live music.
Fantastic, Shelley. We'll talk a little bit more about everything in the farm program coming up in just a few.
You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
Back with you here on WSGW, talking to James Canders. He's the director of MBS International Airport. Matt, what's your official title? What do they call you now? Because you changed it.
I was changed a couple years ago from airport manager to airport director.
Airport director,
just before I came on board.
Yeah. We were talking during the break here because one of the fondest things I ever did was tell people not to park in front of the terminal. I did the announcements at MBS for years, and it goes back quite a ways. I mean, it goes back. I was probably in there, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years before the new terminal was built, up until the new terminal. And I should ask how the new terminal is working out. I mean, it's not new now; it's been around a while, but how's it working out? And any plans to change it in the future?
Well, it's still working out well. It was 10 years old last.
Is it that old?
Oh,
already?
yeah. Last October 31st, it was 10 years old. And we do have to make some changes with the baggage screening areas and things like that to accommodate the new screening methods that are in place. So some changes had to be made there. And we're working on a couple gates. One trying to get one a little more accommodating for use by the airlines, in the hopes that we expand and bring in other airlines here.
Yeah, I know you've always tried to do that. You're always trying to do that, but maybe not another airline, but how about another flight for one of the airlines that's there?
Yep. Delta announced on June 5th that they're adding another flight during the day, and their early morning departure will be leaving about an hour later. So you'll have a 6:40 a.m. departure to Detroit, and then a 12 o'clock departure to Detroit, and then a late afternoon departure to Detroit.
And the really good news is they're putting the bigger CRJs back on that midday flight, aren't they?
Yes, the older small CRJ 200s are a little, well, they're antiquated and not as good a product. 50 passengers. So now you're looking at your 70 or 70 seat or higher CRJs with 2 class options and things like that.
Yeah, there'll be first class on there again.
Yes,
because that disappeared a couple of years ago. Well,
Yes.
COVID really changed a lot of things.
Yes, and we're just now starting to kind of get back from where we used to be, but we still got a bit of a ways to go before we recover.
What's it like for you trying to recruit an airline?
Constant. It takes several years. I was just out in Chicago in March talking to some airlines to try and get them here, and I'm going to be out in Milwaukee next month doing the same thing, and then the end of this year, I think I'm going to be in another city. You have to be constantly talking with the airlines, making them aware of what's going on in the community. The Memorial Cup coming up next year.
Just going to bring that up because Air Canada, listen up.
Yes, and that's what I'm going to be pushing when I go to Milwaukee, Air Canada, because for all the work that Craig's doing with the Saginaw Spirit. The community has to step up, and I'm going to be trying to get airline service or even charter service from Canada, from Quebec, or the Vancouver
West.
area.
Yeah, I was going to say probably charter service is more likely than regular service. I don't see that happening, to be honest. But
Yes,
but you never know.
Never know, and it gets our foot in the door.
Yeah,
And
it does. That's right.
That's sometimes all you need.
Yeah, get the airline in, see how it works.
Yes.
Yeah, Memorial Cup is going to be a big thing because they're expecting 10,000 people.
Oh yeah,
So.
it's going to be significant, and
Yeah.
it really is good of a bit of a launching pad for some of the things we want to try and do.
MBS, though, I mean, ever since I've been here, which is 1974, it's the good news, bad news about MBS is that it's always been perceived as a business airport. The good news was it was a business airport. The bad news was It was a business airport. And it kind of kept the other carriers away, didn't it?
A little bit, but some of that is changing. Down in Flint, Allegiant is very well entrenched there, and they're now a big base of operations and is a large part of their market. But that doesn't mean we're not attractive to other what are called ultra low cost carriers, similar to Allegiant.
Yeah, Allegiant was here and they left with 90% capacity.
And
they wanted 95.
Yes, and I used to. I was a station manager for Allegiant years ago.
Oh, were you really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no kidding.
So I got a good insight into how they operate, and yes, they do that occasionally. Well, they'll fly for 10 months and say, no, this isn't really what we want, and move on.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, it really was. So in terms of soliciting airlines, how is it done? I mean, that's got to be a tough road to hoe.
It is. We support from the community is huge, and the folks over at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Convention and Visitors Bureau are really kind of helping to push us along, get some community support. So when I go and talk to these airlines directly, I can say, this is what the airport is proposing for you to come in here, and the community is also, this is what they're going to do because they want you here, and they want to support the operation.
With all these carriers out there, was it Southwest that pulled out of Flint?
Yes. And
does that make them available?
We don't quite have the population size they're looking for, so that's a tough one. Yeah. But it doesn't mean I won't stop asking them. I'll ask JetBlue. I'll have those conversations. When I go sit across the table like I am now with you, I'll talk directly to the airlines and say, hey, here's what we have to offer. This may work, and you do that every time you go.
In the meantime, you hope the current carriers keep expanding.
Correct, and you talk with them at these meetings as well. Just make sure you're solidifying.
Because United, that used to have only 2, now has 3, right?
Now has 3, yes. And
so Delta was at 5, was down to 2. Now they're back up to 3 again.
Yes, and Delta's primarily still focused on Detroit, but we continue the conversations trying to get Minneapolis or trying to get Atlanta in here. One of those things. Well, we have all those discussions. Throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
And how about the airport in terms of construction and what you need out there?
The runway you were sitting on last weekend, we're getting ready to actually do a resurfacing of that, maybe as early as this fall. We'll see. And then we have some other minor projects that are going with it. And I'm trying to build a new maintenance facility out there. But I have to jump some hurdles with the FAA to get that accomplished. But we need it.
Well, James, look, we thank you for your service and coming in today. And it's my airport of choice, and I hope it's many others.
All right. Well, thank you, Art. Always great to be here.
James Kanders, he's the airport director for MBS International Airport, and we will be back to close out.
Tired of driving all over town just to find your favorite bottle of beer, wine, or liquor? Then look no further than Ideal Party Store in Bay City. Ideal Party Store has been making you the life of the party since 1934 with over 1,000 varieties of beer, hard to find spirits, and that perfect bottle of wine for any occasion. With locations on Johnson Street and Salzburg Avenue, both locations are equipped with supplies for any occasion. Put an end to your search and visit us at Ideal Party Store in Bay City on Johnson Street and Salzburg Avenue.
Wake up, people. You're optimizing every waking hour of your life, from carpooling kids to work to friends and everything in between. You have to get sleep and a bed that can perform as well as you do. Meet the next generation Sleep Number Smart Bed. It effortlessly adjusts to your shape, position, and movements, learning how you sleep, so you learn to sleep better, night after night. Sleep next level, only from Sleep Number. And now during our Memorial Day sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus free home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
All right, that'll do it for Focus today, brought to you by RoofMax. We appreciate RoofMax. You can find them online at getroofmax.com. Stick around for the Farm Show with Farm Director Terry Henney down at the Saginaw Farmers Market. That's coming up next here on WSGW, and he'll be chatting, hopefully, with Steve Anderson from Baird & Company. We haven't heard from him yet, so we'll leave him for Terry. He'll be along right after these notes.
Stop by Woolfiles Ace Hardware, your local Cub Cadet dealer, today and unlock possible during Cub Cadet Days. Now through June 17th, receive $300 off on all Ultimate ZT2, ZT3, and ZTS Series zero-turn mowers. When you need to get the job done, the Cub Cadet Ultimate ZT and ZTS Series includes both lap bar and steering wheel zero-turn mowers with heavy-duty mowing decks available in a variety of sizes designed to deliver a premium cut. Hurry! Cub Cadet Days ends June 17th. Head to Woolfiles Ace Hardware, your local Cub Cadet dealer at 5818 State Street, Saginaw, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and excellent service. Offers are valid May 18th, 2023 through June 17th, 2023 on select mowers. Restrictions apply. See cubcadet.com or Woolfiles for details. Woolfiles Ace Hardware, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
And before we head over to Terry Henney for his broadcast today from the opening of the Saginaw Farmers Market at SVRC, let's take time to check in with Steve Anderson from Baird & Company and get an update on the ticker tip and the markets today. Steve, what's going on? What do you see on the board right now?
Well, right now we got some red with the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 206 at 32,850, volume 266 million shares. The NASDAQ is down 102 at 12,459. Volume there is 304 million shares.
I'm sure you've got a ticker tip for us today, sir.
I do. I wanted to talk a little bit about like managing your long-term funds, like your 401k and retirement accounts. Many people do have them through their employer, or they got IRAs for themselves, and often, hopefully, they were started long ago when they were young. And for the people who still have, say 10 years or more until retirement, it is highly possible